and let's talk about Night of the Kings, a foreign language film entry at the upcoming Oscars. We'll be talking about if we think it will actually get nominated in just a little bit, but this was a really intense and interesting and well shot movie that really surprised me and was just like completely terrifying and overwhelming in all sense of the words. Obviously, being foreign language, you have to get over the 1 inch barrier of the
Yeah.
subtitles. But once you do, you kind of jump into this world of this prison in Maca, the Ivory Coast, only prison I think out in the area of the country, and it's run by prisoners.
Mhm.
It has a hierarchy and a structure, and really the guards are just kind of there to kind of keep order through violence when necessary. But the rest of the time, there's this inherent social structure, which was really fascinating and created a pretty interesting story. How did you feel about Night of the Kings?
Yeah, so this played at Venice last year, then got picked up by Neon for distribution. Uh, Came out in the theaters last week, just hit VOD here. Rare for a movie from Cote d'Ivoire, aka the Ivory Coast, to get Western distribution, such as this. In this instance, the foreign languages, it's both French and uh, Duya, Dyula, which is a West African language. But
Mhm.
yeah, like you said, it's pretty stark right away how it's like a inmates running the asylum type situation here. And with that like handheld camera, claustrophobic settings in this really like dense, overpopulated prison, uh, you're immediately thrown right into that. And I appreciated that like there is limited exposition in the beginning. You're just kind of told to expected to figure out what's going on from the jump. But I also found that a bit challenging towards the end because the movie is very sparse with its exposition, and it's almost
Mhm.
more dreamlike and fantastical as
Mhm.
this new prisoner gets appointed this storyteller role by his fellow men and has to keep everyone entertained for the evening under the red moon, and then there's tension built up constantly, and I think that's done really well. But I did struggle a little bit with the I think like the lack of forward momentum a little bit. Like when we were focused on this storytelling and we'd actually like see it visualized and stuff. And sometimes it was like a little distractingly with CGI, but when we'd see that story visualized, I was a little taken aback because it was almost so stream of conscious, and the other prisoners bring that up later. It was like, "Oh, your story makes no sense."
Mhm.
The what was it? The story of the
Zuma.
Zuma King,
Yep.
Zama King,
Yeah. It was
Zama King.
I agree with the um like stream of conscious type storytelling, but I think that also feels just so realistic to a person thrown into the situation where, they are charged with murder, part of a gang, and uh, come to this prison and have to, it's super overwhelming from the first minute when he drives in and he gets out of the truck and they're just hanging out of the windows, and then he gets just thrown in, and they all turn around and look at him and kind of like run around him, and Blackbeard proclaims him the Roman, the storyteller for the night,
Hmm.
and it's just like I think the word overwhelming just came to my mind throughout, because it's even as he's telling the story, and like there's that part where the crowd of people kind of go and like follow them around, are saying like they killed that person and are like chasing
Hmm.
after them. That feels a lot like the prison in a sense, where it's just like almost like this mob in a sense of people overtaking them, and it's really claustrophobic. A lot of tight shots, a lot of close-ups, really, like, especially when Blackbeard, decides to abdicate his throne and go down and accept his fate, and it's just like the whole thing just feels so tight, like your chest is
Hmm.
kind of tight throughout. A great, a real intense sense of dread when you kind of figure out that he's telling the story for his life, so to speak. So I think it all like makes sense. I agree that some of the like the lack of exposition was, you had to kind of fill in parts of it for yourself, and figure things out. But I think that was to kind of put you into this experience. And I thought it was pretty effective. Philip Lecote seems like a really talented filmmaker, someone to be keeping an eye on too.
Yeah, I'm also a fan of Stephen Tianchu, who plays Blackbeard. He was in the French film Les Miserables last year. He
Hmm.
plays the mayor in that movie. He's a pretty big part of the film. He's pretty good in that. Yeah, I think it's definitely easy to recommend because it's, I think both kind of having like these like dreamlike states, but again, just like a kind of like a raw energy.
Yeah,
Uh, it's hard to replicate in movies.
definitely. And it's sitting, I believe, last time I checked, at 99% Rotten Tomatoes. So
Yeah,
pretty
we'll
good
see.
reviews.
It made the best international film short list, which is the top 15. So we'll see if it makes the top five and actually gets nominated. Uh, so we'll TBD on that.
Yeah, I don't think that's a shot to win, but nomination would be nice.